Hello my beautiful shoes, it's me, KCAs. Welcome back. And today I'm going to be discussing a topic that honestly I've been itching to make some type of dedicated video about for months, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And that is the whole thing with the Nickelodeon slime. So I think you know that earlier this week the Kids' Choice Awards were hosted, and it was pretty it's usually these days a bit more of a low profile event, only really watched by the dedicated fans of the channel. But recently a lot of K-pop fans had gotten onto the show because KATSEYE was going to be attending, and Stray Kids, Twice, and Rose were nominees for different categories. So a lot of K-pop fans were eyeing the show up to the night that it was going to be hosted. And then a lot of people who clearly have not watched the awards show in years, or just haven't even known about it up until now, were getting mad about something that has been commonplace at the award show for ages. So I'm going to dive fingernails first into what made me want to make this video in the first place, and that is this ongoing rumor that's been going around about Nickelodeon and the Nickelodeon slime, because I'm tired of people spreading this inherently false rhetoric, though I do want to give some background as to why they're inclined to believe this a little bit more in recent times. If you didn't already know, last year, 2024, there was a documentary released, I believe on Amazon Prime, called Quiet on the Set, and it was about a lot of shady, creepy behavior going on behind the scenes of, I'm pretty sure, not just Nickelodeon, but also some other famous recording studios and a lot of other companies known for having a lot of child actors. And one of them, you know, of course, one of the sections was talking about Nickelodeon because they're such a big conglomerate when it comes to young children and tweens and teens entertainment. So yeah, they had a lot of content in the documentary about Nickelodeon, and that's why afterward people started hyperanalyzing a lot of elements of their branding and questioning a lot of things. And I'm not saying that, you know, questioning things like that is bad. It's very good to question things that you find suspicious, but what isn't okay is just spreading blatant lies. What do I mean by that? Well, take a seat for this one if you're already not sitting down. People think that the Nickelodeon slime is green so that they can use it as a green screen and turn it white as fetish content. I genuinely wonder how some people come up with things like this, but then I remember that we live on a floating rock. So I wanted to make this video to discuss the reason why it's actually green, and also sort of poke holes into people's arguments about some aspects of Nickelodeon's branding being inappropriate, because I do believe that there are some genuine problems with it, but some things people poke and prod at and nitpick about are just not that, and take away from the larger issues.
Dankon better not give me a claim for this shit either. You don't even own the show.
So back in the early 80s, Nickelodeon had started playing this show they had bought from Canada called You Can't Do It on Television. And in one of the episodes, they were going to do a prank on one of the actors, though I find this a bit more of a cruel and unusual punishment than a prank. They were going to dump a bucket of blended up cafeteria food on one of the actors in one of the episodes, in one of the skits. And shooting for that episode ended up being delayed for unknown reasons. So they just left the buckets in a storage closet somewhere and left it until they were able to get back to shooting. And when it came time to shoot the episode, I guess no one checked to see if anything had been tampered with the buckets, because the food ended up getting moldy. And when it came time to shoot that part of the episode, they just dumped it on the kid. And since it had gone bad, it ended up turning out a sort of greenish hue. And since little kids, you know, they've got absolute peas for brains, I'm sorry, they found this hilarious. So Nickelodeon took side of this, and them finding it so funny, they decided to start making slime a part of their brand because it was getting them a lot of viewership. Of course, later on, this time around, it wasn't moldy cafeteria food. According to my research, it was at the time a blend of applesauce, yogurt, and Greek food coloring. Also, even if we're just looking outside of the scope of old Nickelodeon, and you can't do that on television, slime and stuff has just always, at least for a while now, been a thing that's popular with small kids. Like, maybe I'm crazy for making this connection, but does no one remember that, like, late 2015 to 2018 period of YouTube where, like, slime tutorials, aside from fidget spinners and hating on Justin Bieber, was just the thing everyone did? Like, you could not escape that, actually. And even still, it's not like making slime and slime ASMR stuff is just a dead trend. It's sort of just evolved a little. So you'd be crazy to think that, especially after that era, they would give up such a crucial part of their branding just because some of you are porn-brained freaks who cannot resist the urge to make everything dirty. And the thing with this especially is people will take the fact that there are child actors who are exploited in the industry and are taken advantage of and try and use that as a cover-up so that you're trapped in a rock and a hard place and you can't disagree with their outrageous theories because they'll box you in and say, oh, you don't agree with what I'm saying? It's obviously with good intentions. You must be one of these horrible people. You must be condoning these horrible practices in the industry. But it's definitely not that. They just want to seem better than other people. They just want to seem holier. But they don't realize that digging so deep into it and finding problems where there aren't any causes more harm than it does good. If you're gonna look me in the eye straight up and tell me this photo of KATSEYE being covered in green slime that does not naturally come out of the human body whatsoever, is somehow sexual, is there a reproductive sexual nature that it looks like that, you genuinely don't sound like you get out of the house. I'm sorry. And then there were some people getting upset at Lara, apparently, because she mentioned that after they came back from the award show, she had taken a shower with Yoonjae, which, you know, out of context, maybe that seems horrible. But what came to my mind first was they were taking a normal shower to clean dirt off of themselves because that's why people take showers. And at that point, I realized that all of the criticism being thrown towards this situation was completely pointless and nitpicky, if I didn't know that already, because, to be fair, I know that most internet discourse is useless and nitpicky, but yeah. Anyways, I'm done ranting. I'm so tired. I just want to get this out. I'm sorry if some of the footage doesn't look good, or if there's a mistake somewhere, or a glitch here or there. You'll just have to deal with it, because I didn't really feel like putting effort into this. I just wanted to talk about this, because I thought it was ridiculous. Anyways, I'm kisshuhua, and I'm out.